Good morning. Hope you're having a good day. Going to have a good week. Now be careful this week. It's going to get hot. So take care of yourself. Don't get out here and get too hot. You remember the story about Aladdin where he finds a lantern and rubs it, genie appears and gives him the wishes that he wants? I think sometimes we may wish we could find a lantern like that. And we could rub it and some genie appear and grant our wishes. Well, I hate to tell you, but that's not true. There's no genie and there's no Aladdin as far as that's a fairy tale. That's a story. There's no lantern to rub, but there is God. And God said that if you make our petitions known unto Him, He will grant them according to His will. I heard the story about 3 guys that were marooned on a desert island with no hope of rescue, and they're walking one day and one of them kicks the sand and a lantern pops up. And he rubs that lantern and sure enough a genie appears. And the genie says, I'm going to give each of you guys one wish. So this one guy says, boy, what am I going to wish for? I want to be back in my office working in Boston. Bam, he's gone. Second guy says, well, I want to be home with my family, enjoying my family. Bam, he's gone. That third guy says, man, I'm awful lonely. I wish my 2 friends were back with me. Bam, there they are. The problem of us wishing for things sometimes doesn't come true. We need to have confidence, and we need to have that assurance that when we ask something of God, that He's going to grant it. He's going to do that. Now, I told you that to say in 2 Chronicles, there's a story about God asking an individual, what do you want? In 2 Chronicles chapter 1, verse 7. And in that night did God appear unto Solomon, and say unto him, ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said unto God, Thou hast shown great mercy unto David my father, and hast made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Lord God, let thy promise unto David my father be established. For thou hast made me king over the people like the dust of the earth, and multiply. Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this thy people that is so great? And God said to Solomon, because thou in thy heart thou hast not asked for riches, wealth, or honor, nor the life of thy enemies, neither yet have not asked for long life, but have asked for wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou mayest judge my people over whom I have made thee king. Wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee, and I will give thee riches and wealth and honor, such as none of the kings have had that have been before you, neither shall there be any after thee have what you have. Now, what God is saying is, you didn't ask for riches, you didn't ask for wealth, but I'm going to give you that. But you asked for wisdom and knowledge. I'm going to give you that you can make the right choices. But you didn't ask for those things, but I'm going to give it to you. My question to you is, how would you fill in that blank? If God were to ask you what He asked Solomon, ask what I shall give you, what would you say? Would you say, I'd like to have riches for the rest of my life, that I wouldn't have to worry about things? I'd like to have this, or I'd like to have that. Or would you say, like Solomon, give me wisdom and give me knowledge? You know, God gave that to Solomon, gave him wisdom, gave him knowledge, and then Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs, which is a book about wisdom and practical things that we can apply to our life. In fact, in Proverbs chapter 8, verse 11, he says, wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things one may desire cannot be compared with her. He said the greatest thing you can have is wisdom. And the wisdom he's talking about is wisdom seen from God's perspective. Seeing things the way God does. Seeing how God evaluates things and going in that direction in your life. And he said in Proverbs 4:7, wisdom is the practical thing, therefore get wisdom. And in all you're getting, get understanding. So he says, get wisdom from God's perspective, see things from God's perspective, and get understanding. Understand why God does what he does. You remember Moses knew the ways of God and not just the works of God. And that's what we need to do. We not only need to see how God works, we need to see why he does what he does. What's the purpose of what he's doing? Now, wisdom can be found if you seek it. Seen from God's perspective, you can get that understanding. Because in James chapter 1, James says, if you lack wisdom, ask God. He gives it to all men so they can. Then he says, now don't ask in doubt. You know, don't say, God, I need wisdom how to deal with this situation. I need wisdom in what I'm going to do. And then you doubt if God's even going to answer you, so you decide to take your own wisdom and what you think is right, and you do it, and you don't wait for God. God says, you ask wisdom from me, I'm going to give it to you. Just wait. I'll give you understanding. I'll give you wisdom. You can trust me. So wisdom can be found if you seek it, and then you can use it when you get it. When God gives you that wisdom, you can apply it to your life, and you can act on it. Wisdom is the ability to see life from God's point of view. Okay? So that's going to help you as we go through different things in life. Just ask God, give you understanding, give you wisdom, give you God's perspective of things, how God sees things. And especially during this time right now, we need to seek God and say, God, I don't understand any of this stuff. You know, you listen to the media, you get different responses every time. You got one group that says you do this, another group says don't do that. One group thinks things are getting better, another group says things are getting worse. What do you believe to be true? How can you live a life according to all that? Well, you seek God and put him first and say, God, give me wisdom of how to get through this. Give me wisdom of what to do and not do. Give me understanding in my own heart. Give me a peace so I can live the way you want me to live. Okay? Now, I hope that's going to help you, because that has really been applied to this staff this week. And I'm getting ready to tell you something that when I say this, there are going to be some of you who may get upset and may not like what I'm going to say. Well, I've been around for 49 years in the ministry, and I know that not everybody's going to like what you do sometimes. And but I feel like as pastor of this church, and in much prayer and seeking the counsel of godly people, this is what I feel like we need to do. Because I love you, and I don't want anything to happen to you because I make a wrong decision about something. Doing that due to the fact that somebody who was in the church building who had been in direct contact with a person who does have COVID-19, the staff and the deacons, we have talked and we have prayed, and we feel like it's best to close the building and suspend services for the coming Sunday, going by the CDC's recommendation quarantine guidelines. We will reevaluate the situation the following week, and hopefully if nothing has happened and everybody's fine and we feel like it's safe, we will open up a week from this Sunday, but we will not have services this Sunday. We'll be back on Facebook. And we have hired a professional deep cleaning team that is used by TCEC to come and to clean the church and sanitize it, the building, so we'll be ready and safe again when we gather again. I want you to be safe, and I want any of you to get sick, okay? Now, you might get sick because you might be around somebody, but as far as coming to church, we want you to be safe. We want you to enjoy it. So therefore, after much prayer, okay, much prayer, the staff and the deacons feel like this is the best way we need to go at this point. Suspend services this Sunday. Be on Facebook. Evaluate it next week. And hopefully, a week from this Sunday, we can gather again and worship. Take it to heart. I'm saying this out of love for you. I want you to be safe, and I don't want anything to happen because we make a wrong decision. I love you. I want the very best for you, and I want the best for this church. So have a good day. Have the rest of the week. Be safe. Don't get out and get too hot. It's going to get hot. Stay inside where it's cool. Don't get out there in that heat and get yourself dehydrated. Just play it safe. Watch us on Facebook this Sunday, and hopefully a week from this Sunday we can gather again. Love you. Be careful. Take care of yourself. And we'll see you this Sunday on Facebook. Bye-bye.